And good afternoon. Welcome to the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We thank you for being with us on this Tuesday. Hope you had a great Memorial Day 2015. And so now we pick things up and go back to work and go back to play. Of course, a lot of folks played yesterday for Memorial Day. But again, I got on Facebook last night, and I can't tell you how many folks did a nice patriotic tribute to our troops, as well they should. And so Memorial Day behind us. It shouldn't be. It should be with us every day. But on the calendar, Memorial Day is behind us, and away we go into the latter stages of May with June right around the corner. It was June 1st. Coming up, be on Monday. June the 1st is coming Monday. Hard to believe. College football right around the corner. Hey, it's the Tom Taylor Sports Show each and every day. We're here from 1 to 3, and we would ask you to Facebook, like us and follow us on Facebook.com/the Tom Taylor Sports Show. And you can do that very easily, and you have been, and we thank you for that. Yesterday, we heard from Carl Edwards and Joe Gibbs and Austin Dillon and Terry Labonte from the NASCAR arena. Today, we'll hear from Marcus Smith about his daddy being inducted into named to the NASCAR Hall of Fame. We'll check in with him coming up in a little while. Kyle Busch will be by. We'll find out how he thought things went of the Coca-Cola 600 over the weekend. Went all 600 laps, stayed in the car, and did basically a pretty good job. Finished top 15, and at one point throughout the race, he was in the top 5, but finished the 11th, disappointed, and we'll hear from Busch a little bit later on in the show. Also, Richard Isaacs will be by, coming up here in about T-minus 28 minutes for right around 1:45, my bad, for the quiz show. Maybe today. Went 4 for 5 yesterday. Missed a stupid question that Gator gave me, so, of course, any of them I missed are stupid. And so Richard will be by with maybe a chance to go 5 for 5 today on the sports quiz show and win some cool stuff for some folks. Also, a little bit later on, Milligan College will be joined by the track and field coach, Chris Lane. These folks finished in the top 25 in the country in the national championship in track and field, and so we'll talk to Chris Lane coming up later on in the show as well. And also my buddy Larry Kaiser. From Larry Kaiser Nationwide Insurance, we get a chance to talk to him about the Smart Ride program. So all that's coming up later on here in the show, here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, again on this Tuesday. Again, as we always do, we turn this entire show over to the man who hung on the cross, and we unashamedly do that. And so today's verse of the day for the show, Isaiah 58:11. I will guide you always. I will satisfy your needs in a sun-scorched land and will strengthen your frame. You will be like a well-watered garden, like a spring whose waters never fail. That is pretty cool. Isaiah 58:11. Horace with a day off. Next couple of days, today, tomorrow, the Gabester's in the house. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Just fine, sir. What's big? What's the big sports news today? What'd you come in here with that you got something on your brain about besides the fact the Reds are god-awful? We'll talk about them coming up in a minute, but what's on your brain? What's the big sports story in your mind today?
Well, I think, you and I were talking about Dwight Howard and his rather nasty little elbow/haymaker that he threw at old poor Andrew Bogut last night, where in Game 4, where the Houston Rockets got a desperately needed win to stay alive in that series. I thought that they were all but done, but they managed to show a little bit of life and won Game 4 there at home. It took James Harden dropping 45 points to be able to breathe a little bit of life back into this team. And, there was also some pretty nasty weather out in Houston last evening that people like Dwight Howard and some of the fans, they were stuck at the stadium until about 3:30, 4 a.m. due to flash flooding and some scary weather. So we hope everyone's doing well down there and that everyone made it home safely. But Rockets live to fight another day. Whether Dwight Howard's going to be available for Game 5 is up for debate, just because he was issued a flagrant 1 for the penalty, but they may go back and reassess it, give him a flagrant 2, which would mean he is suspended for Game 5.
So when you watch an NBA game, it's turned out for me to watch it, it's more like a wrestling match in basketball jerseys. I mean, these guys are grabbing and holding each other and locking elbows and locking arms. So to get a flagrant foul in the NBA, this must have been pretty bad. What did Howard do?
Like you said, he and Bogut awfully handsy with each other down there in the post.
Awful handsy.
Awfully handsy.
Gotcha.
Looking to get a rebound, and Bogut he did his fair share of antagonizing here, but you've got to be able to more or less turn the other cheek, and Howard didn't do that. He He kind of got shoved a little bit, and his response was to throw his left elbow in the area of Bogut's face, and then he extended it and kind of punched him. So he got an elbow and a punch. And
little double whammy
little bit of a double whammy, which is why they are going back and reassessing this to see if it was more than just the elbow and the punch, if there was some malicious ill intent here. So, that's up for the NBA officials to decide. I'm glad I don't have to decide something like this, just because the entire playoff series could ride on it.
What, he's that big of a player?
He is. I mean, this guy is the big defensive presence in that post game for the Rockets. Allows James Harden to do a lot more things offensively, as far as dishing it off down there in the post and having him kick it back out for a three. So a lot of, big things that Dwight Howard's able to bring to your basketball team. And if he's not there, I really don't see the Rockets pulling off a win in Game 5.
So Bogut's kind of a baiter, if I'm reading this right. He always kind of gets a little dicey, I think is the word you use.
It's going to be choppy no matter what. Choppy, handsy, dicey.
Gotcha.
We can use them all. But I definitely think that you could tell that Howard was getting a little frustrated with how hands-on it was getting. And unfortunately for him, he reacted the way that you're not supposed to react.
He's a pretty big boy, too, isn't he? Howard goes about 6'8", 6'9" at least.
He's not tiny.
Yeah, big wide body.
He's a big man.
So he gets nailed, the flagrant foul. Is there money involved in this? Does he get a fine? If it's a flagrant foul, is he suspended? How does that work?
It would be it would come down from not the organization of the Rockets, but it would be an NBA suspension. So whether they fine him or not, that's a good possibility. As with, just about every single flagrant 2 I could ever seen, there's been a fine that's come along with it, along with a 1-game suspension. So, when you're talking playoffs, 1-game suspensions mean everything.
They're down 3-1. It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Will it make any difference? They play tomorrow night in Golden State. I mean, the Warriors can finish it tomorrow night on their home floor with or without Howard. Do they have a chance, or is there just smoke and mirrors here for Houston?
Conventional wisdom tells me that no, they really just don't have a chance. If Howard's not there, you can go ahead and put a fork in them because they're done. So. I think even if he is there, it's going to be a long shot for them to pull off a win.
Tonight, the Cavaliers are at home against Atlanta. They're up 3-0. Is it over for the Hawks?
Done.
Put a fork in them?
Signed, sealed, delivered.
Gone.
It's over.
It's the Cavs and
Hawks.
And the Cavs and who for the NBA Finals? Probably Golden State?
I'm going Cleveland, Golden State, and I will go with Golden State to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, and let's go 6.
All right. I don't want to open up a wound, but I'm going to. Your Mavericks, way underachieved. My Spurs went out early to I guess they lost to the Warriors, as a matter of fact. So
no, they lost to the Clippers.
Lost to the Clippers, that's right. Who lost to the Warriors.
Yes, that is
the Rockets,
correct.
Whoever. They're been out for a while. So the Mavs are out. The Spurs are out, so I don't have a whole lot of interest in this. LeBron, you got to wonder down in Miami what Bosh is thinking and Wade's thinking, because the dynasty that was supposed to be gets broke up. Obviously, he goes back to Cleveland, and they're a game away from the NBA Finals, and Bosh and Wade are sitting on the beach, looking for starfish or sand dollars, whatever they do. So it's interesting. So obviously, and we all knew this, the key to that basketball team, no question, in the Heat's heyday was –
LeBron.
Absolutely.
He's still the key in Cleveland, too. I mean, wherever he goes, with this guy in the prime of his career, he is going to be the key factor on whether, they can win or not. I'll go – Cleveland would not, even with an excellent Kyrie Irving and, a decent Kevin Love, they still would not even be remotely close to doing this well if it wasn't for LeBron James and all the mismatches that he's able to bring to a basketball team that you're playing.
Talking to some guys at church the other night, who is the best, LeBron or Jordan? And they all said, no question, Jordan, even though because LeBron doesn't have anything as far as championships, or not as many to show, and then what he does for a team. But as the time marches on here, it's going to be a very big debate.
I think that gap is getting
closer,
very, very close.
Yeah.
I don't agree with the fact that everything needs to be based on championships, because it takes a team to win a championship, So, anyways,
there you go.
I've said my piece.
There you go. He has voiced his concerns and his opinion, and that's exactly why we do this. It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us on this Tuesday. May the 26th, our day together is day number 75. We hit the 75-day plateau on this, our 16th week of the show, and we appreciate all the sponsorship and certainly all the folks that are telling us on a daily basis they are watching and or listening. Of course, today, right now, we're livestream.com from 1 to 3 on live stream, and then later on this afternoon, we'll go up on iTunes and TuneIn Radio and the Stitcher phone app and also YouTube. So we're there throughout the evening. That's where we get a lot of folks go back and watch us and listen to us at their leisure and at their convenience. But we also got folks listening and watching here this afternoon as well, and we certainly appreciate that. All right, we've got a couple of NFL news stories to tell you about. Adrian Peterson, it continues as like a soap opera in Minnesota. Peterson says, in fact, he even said, I will retire before I play another down for the Minnesota Vikings. That's not off the table. He said and he's going to skip the organized team practices and get-togethers. Says, nope, not going to be there. Now, we told you yesterday, by him not being there, he is losing $250,000 in bonuses because he's not there today. So I'm not going to show up. Don't care what they take out of my billfold. I'm not going. All right. Now, you and I sign a contract. You're under contract with me. I make you mad. You're not coming back. Contract says you're gonna be here. All right? You say, I'll quit and never do it again before I come back. I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to be a part of it. Blah, 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 blah. Who's right? Who's wrong? You signed the contract. I expect you to be here. We've paid you some money already. Good money. Great money. Not just good money. Great money. Then you kind of get a burn to your saddle and say, nope, I'm not coming back. I want out. I want to be traded, or I'll not play another down. In this case, I'll not come back and do another show. You say.
Well, it depends on if Minnesota calls his bluff, if they think he's bluffing or not. I think that when it comes down to is, yes, he signed a contract, and I guess he is contractually obligated to show up. And he knows that he doesn't have to, though, because he is the best player on that football team, and he knows that. This is a guy that lost out on all of last season. He played the first game of the season last year, and then due to, the suspension from the child abuse and all that, other mumbo-jumbo that he dealt with, he didn't play another game all last season. So he's already got to be itching to be wanting to play again. But he spent the first half of his career in a very poor Minnesota franchise. They haven't given him much to work with. He hasn't had a quarterback to work with. And he doesn't want to play for this team anymore because he feels that they're not doing their end of the bargain to give him what he needs to be able to win football games.
Okay, I agree with all that, but I still signed you under contract. So I'm working on getting you a better quarterback. I'm working on getting you a better team. That's irrelevant. You signed a contract for a lot of money. You need to be in the camp, ready to go. Now, if he shows up, here's the other question. If he shows up, as bad as he does not want to be there, if he does ultimately show up, I'm going to get 100% out of him. He's going to go through the motions. Or he may get out there the first day and go, my elbow hurts or my hamstring's pulled or my pinky hurts or whatever, and then he decides to go stand on the sideline. And, of course, okay, I'm there. He fulfills his obligation with the team. I'm there. But he's over there on the side playing hurt when he's not hurt. So if Adrian Peterson shows up, do we get 100% out of this guy? Or do we just go ahead and say, cut our losses, who wants him? These guys want him. The Raiders want him to fulfill some needs in a running back since they got rid of McFadden, who and Maurice Jones-Drew are gone. Of course, they picked up Trent Richardson in the draft. In the free agency market. But the Raiders are after this guy. Now, there's a big check comes with him too, huge paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he's not a youngster. He's been 7 or 8 years in the league. So,
and he's a running back. And
he's a running back.
The longevity on running backs is about 5 to 6 years.
You got it. So. All those things being said, if you're management of the Minnesota Vikings, I'm going to lay it in your lap, what do? You work with this guy, give him what he wants, let him get out of Minnesota, or do you say, going to hold his feet to the fire and say, you're Heinies on our team, you signed that contract, you be here for camp? What would you do?
Personally?
Yeah.
Get rid of him.
All right.
To me, he's coming across as more or less a cancer that would be in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be talking trash about the management for the team. He'd probably be talking trash about certain players on the team, the coaching staff, maybe even some of the fans, because of all this drama that more or less he's brought on himself. I think that it's just way too big of a distraction. Like you said, this is his 8th or 9th year in the league. He didn't even play last year, other than the first game. And not to say that he can't still play at a high level, but the odds of that are greatly reduced. And for the paycheck that he still would be receiving,
Yep.
and the fact that I don't think anybody thinks that the Minnesota Vikings are going to win a Super Bowl in the next 3 years, I personally would ship him off, get rid of him, stop having to pay that major paycheck, and start building a new team around Teddy Bridgewater, who showed a lot of great promise last season.
There you go. Adrian Peterson, we'll see how it plays out. But, again, he's supposed to be there today for the organized team activities, and he has said no thank you, and as a result he'll lose today and today alone. He said, I don't care. $250,000 by not being there today, and he doesn't care. This guy's –
that tells you how much money they're making.
Yeah. Tells you where his heart's at, too.
Yeah.
So before we go to the break, we got our first break coming up. Before we go that way, let me run down what's happening in Southwest Virginia baseball from yesterday here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Yesterday, Honaker beat Hayside 12-2. Graham High School over Grundy 12-8. Holston defeated Northwood 5-1. And the Conference 40 tournament from yesterday, it was Y Central over John Battle 7-4. Lebanon beat Lehigh 3-1. And Union knocks off Gate City. Final score there was 8-5 in baseball action. These numbers are getting smaller. Let me go ahead and put these on so I can – man, they're getting really scrunched down there. Holy smokes. Y Central, I said 7-4, Lebanon 3-1, and Union over Gate City 8-5. Now tonight in baseball from the Vault Stadium in Bristol, Lebanon takes on Union at 5 o'clock, and Virginia High battles Y Central at 7:30 tonight in the Conference 40 tournament. Conference 48 tournament tonight. Number 7 Twin Springs will play at number 2 ranked or number 2 seeded J.I. Burton. Castlewood will be in Rye Cove to battle the number 3 seed War Eagles, and Clintwood will be at Thomas Walker in baseball tonight in the Conference 48 tournament. Also in Southwest Virginia, softball tournament time there, of course. Holston beat Hayside 10-0. Marion over Grundy 12-1. In the Conference 40 tournament last night, softball Union beat Lehigh's ladies 4-0. Lebanon's ladies over Virginia High 11-1. John Battle's Lady Trojans over Y Central 5-4. And tonight at Gate City, number 4 Union takes on the number 1 seed, the Gate City Lady Blue Devils, and Lebanon will battle John Battle tonight right after that one. That first one, Gate City Union's at 6 o'clock. And the Conference 48 softball tournament tonight. Number 7, Thomas Walker will be number 2, J.I. Burton. Number 6, the Lady Fighting Titans of Twin Springs. The 6th seed will be number 3, Clintwood. And the number 5 seed, Rye Cove, will be at number 4, Castlewood. And the Conference 48 tournament coming up again later on this afternoon and tonight in Southwest Virginia. Also, before we go to the break, we have soccer, the boys tournament today. Y Central at Union and Lehigh at John Battle. The Conference 40 girls tournament tonight will be Union and Virginia High and Y Central and John Battle, and those are being played tonight at Sugar Hollow Park in Bristol, Virginia. So that's what you've got right now in baseball and softball and soccer in Southwest Virginia, always running a couple of weeks behind. Tennessee's high school teams are all done. In fact, I think everybody's out of school except Johnson City Schools. They go through Thursday. I think everybody else is either winding down or is out. And so Virginia's still going. Of course, they go back later and they finish later than the Tennessee schools. And so they're still in tournament time. In fact, just getting started, really, in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Quick break. We'll be right back. Coming up, we're going to check in with another NFL player, kicked off his team. We'll tell you who and why. Also, as Gabe alluded to earlier, the storms down in Texas have scrapped some of the NFL practices, and they've had some serious rain in the Lone Star State. And also, coming up, there's a coach, an assistant coach in college basketball, making $700,000 a year as an assistant coach. We'll tell you who and what school coming up. First is quick break again on this Tuesday afternoon as you listen to and watch the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Oil is the lifeblood of your vehicle. Blaine Turner from American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City tells us an important role it plays.
Oil's actual number one job is for cooling your engine. Yes, you have your coolant and your coolant system, but oil actually is your primary coolant system. It pulls from heat from the hottest parts of the engine, and actually, has a higher velocity than, your coolant or anything like that. So no matter, when your engine hits those high temperatures, it's able to actually pull the heat out of there and help cool. As it pulls it out, it's a lot of wear and tear on it. So it gets dirty, it gets filthy because it's pulling the heat, pulling the dirt, everything like that. So it's very important to change it at the interval that it's due. If you have a standard oil, I would suggest 3,000. If you have a synthetic, I would suggest 6,000. Now, they do make different brands that go longer than that, but get with your mechanic and let them give you the information on which oil that is and whether your car's suited for that.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City. Call today at 913-3111. Kingsport Cabinetry installs cabinets and countertops all over the three-state region. Owner Richard Isaac says they work with both commercial and residential customers and love to help remodel existing homes.
What we do is if somebody comes in and wants to do a remodel, of course, they've got an existing home, existing kitchen. It might be a bathroom, whatever, it doesn't matter. We'll come out and take a look at their project. We'll do the measuring for them, come back in. While I'm at the home, I'll get the ideas that they want to incorporate into the kitchen, into the bathroom. We'll come back, we'll draw it up for them, have them come in for a meeting and go over everything with them. And once the drawings and stuff are approved, then we'll start the pricing process. We'll find out what kind of wood they want to use, what kind of countertops. Do they want Corian? Do they want granite? Do they want laminate countertops?
Kingsport Cabinetry. Quotes are free. Call today, 247-6134, 247-6134.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
Back on the Tom Dillon Sports Show on this Tuesday. Thanks for being with us. Appreciate you very much. And coming up, we got the word of the day, or the thought for the day, I should say, from Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance. We'll have that for you coming up in a few minutes. Also, we'll check in with Marcus Smith. Marcus, again, on behalf of his father. Of course, he was voted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame last week, and we'll hear from Marcus coming up here in just a few minutes. All right, when are they going to learn their lesson? The National Football League. Bears pick up this guy from San Francisco. He was in trouble there. The Bears have announced that they have released troubled defensive tackle Ray McDonald. McDonald arrested in California for domestic violence, child endangerment, marked his second arrest in 6 months. He received the same fate in December for sexual assault and domestic violence before signing with the Bears in the offseason. Why? Why would you go get somebody? My daddy used to say a leopard never loses its spots. They is who they is. 30-year-old McDonald has been a full-time starter in the National Football League since 2008. He was All-Pro in 2011, and they've released him. Now, Mr. Hackett, the bad part about that, the bad part is for him, he's gone. I don't know if anybody else will pick him up. They'd be that stupid because he's had problems in San Francisco with domestic violence and now sexual assault and now child endangerment. Why would you touch him with a 10-foot pole? Number two, for the Bears, there's a guy that could, had they known this, the drafts a couple of weeks ago, they could have went and got a defensive tackle, somebody to fill his spot. Same with the Dolphins. Dolphins let their defensive end go a couple of weeks ago because he's suspended for the whole year for steroids and performance-enhancing drugs, flunked the test. So they're looking for a defensive end down there. But the point of this is the Bears, had they known this guy was going to get booted, and they didn't, but they probably had an inkling, they would have released, or when he got released, they would have went out and got another defensive tackle in the draft. So now they're out, which is not fair to the Bears. So this guy, because he's a yo-yo, he's out from the National Football League. I can't imagine somebody picking him back up. I guess somebody would be that stupid. But the point of all this is, when do we say, okay, draw a line in the sand and say, look, I don't care how good you are, I don't care how talented, how big, how strong, how fast, if you're an idiot off the field, there comes a point where it's called accountability and integrity. And so here's Ray McDonald. He's probably a heck of a football player, but off the field he can't stay out of trouble. So when will the National Football League put tougher standards, tougher checkpoints, mile markers, whatever, on these guys in their personal life to make sure they're not a bunch of yo-yos. It doesn't matter. Just the people just, as long as you can play on the field, between the chalk, I don't care what you do off the field. We'll take care of that. Just win, baby.
No, I think that, last year, the massive ordeal that it turned into after, the Ray Rice video was released and you saw him cold cocking his fiance, right there in the face, just in the elevator. And
by the way, those charges were dropped. You see that?
Oh, well, yeah, that was because of her, though.
But they got dropped.
But notice he hasn't been picked up by anybody.
No.
Nobody's going to touch him.
No.
Nobody will. And I think that what you're going to see is I understand. I give the Bears some props for trying to give the guy maybe a second chance. I think everybody deserves a second chance. But after this, you're right. He's done. This guy's not going to play another down in the NFL. I can almost guarantee that. That you can't do this 2 times in a row on 2 separate teams and expect to come out of this shining,
in 6
good.
months.
Oh, in 6 months too. It's not like this was separated by 9 years or something.
Right.
So I think that the policies that the NFL and Goodell have tried to institute after absolutely, messing up the first time with what they give Ray Rice the first time, 2-game suspension.
2 or 3 games.
2 or 3 game suspension, and then they turned it into the whole season, and it's just been a lot of. It's been going seesawing back and forth, and so I think that what you're going to see is eventually it could eventually get to the point where it's a one-time offense and you're done. It could eventually get to that. I think it all depends a lot on the severity of the charges. That's what it comes down to a whole lot. I think when the reason the Ray Rice thing was so bad is because we saw it happen. We saw what this large, strong running back was one of the premier running backs in the National Football League at the time, what he was able to do to his defenseless, much smaller fiance.
They dropped the charges.
They can drop them all they want. We saw what happened, and there's a reason that Ray Rice will not play again in the NFL. No management and team is gonna alienate their fans, especially their female fans, by having a guy that they have seen absolutely, clobber.
Yeah.
Clobber, knock her out cold.
I've not understood why the females in this country haven't risen up en masse and said, look, after they saw that video and now the guy's got the charges dropped, whether it's her doing it, whoever did it, whoever, when I say did it, got the charges dropped, said whatever they needed to say, or said, look, let's look the other way, give him another chance, whatever. How they have not risen up en masse and said, look, timeout, enough is enough. But they haven't. So Ray Rice's charges are dropped. Your point again with the defensive tackle, Ray McDonald, he's toast, he's done. My question again is, when is the National Football League and all professional sports, or even college sports for that matter, when are they going to step up and say, all right, enough is enough. The talent doesn't matter. I don't care how good you are. I don't care if you can run a 40 in 2 seconds. I don't care if you can bench press 17,000 pounds. I don't care. If you're an idiot off the field, we don't want you. We're not going to condone what you do, and we're going to clean this thing up. But, and I see your point. The Bears gave this guy another chance, but he clearly, second arrest in 6 months, he doesn't get another chance, I don't think. But anyway.
It's not going to happen until the moral integrity of the situation outweighs the dollar. That's what it's going to come down to, okay? You've got to wait for the moral integrity of people to actually say enough is enough, we're not going to put up with this anymore, to affect the management and owners of these teams that are making millions and millions and billions of dollars every single year. I forget how much money the NFL made last season combined. Billions, though.
Mm-hmm.
Big money. Big-time
money.
Big money.
Mm-hmm.
And when people finally stand up and say enough is enough and start protesting and not going to these games and not watching these games that these convicts, more or less, these guys that are having constant run-ins with the law, domestic assault charges, sexual assault charges, when people finally get sick and tired of this stuff, that is when it'll start to change. But until then,
there you go.
You're going to be looking at this going on like this for a while.
All right. Yeah, I think we've nailed it pretty good. I think you're exactly right on all points. It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Switching gears, NASCAR last week. Let's hear from Marcus Smith. NASCAR last week. Folks voted in. Bruton Smith, of course, the president of Speedway Motorsports, and gosh, a heck of a nice guy, and, of course, heads up Bristol Motor Speedway. And now the president and CEO, because he's passed the torch, his son Marcus, comments on the fact that his father, what it meant to him and everybody, for Dad to be voted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame.
You know, we're so proud of my dad. Bruton Smith is a guy that is, he's iconic, and he is definitely one that loves to exceed expectations. He's never sought accolades, for himself. Growing up as a kid, we always said, Dad, why don't we name a dealership Bruton Smith Ford, or whatnot? And he would say, no, that's not how we do it. We were trying to build a business, not our names. So that's kind of the way he's lived his life. He always wants to deliver and over-deliver for fans, try to overdo it, do more than what people think is even needed. We want to exceed those expectations. So, my dad is a special guy, and I love to call him my dad, my boss, and even my neighbor.
Even his neighbor. Again, Marcus Smith, his son, now the president and CEO of Speedway Motorsports, and that's a really cool thing. And he, again, sees his father get voted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame along with my all-time favorite driver, Texas Terry Labonte, among others. So pretty cool stuff. NASCAR moving on to Dover after the Coca-Cola 600. If you're a Joe Gibbs Racing fan, you got to be pleased. Denny Hamlin won the All-Star race. Denny Hamlin won the Xfinity Series race. Matt Kenseth sat on the pole for the Coca-Cola 600. Of course, Carl Edwards won the race. So Kyle Busch is back in the hunt as he finishes 11th and many points in the race. He was running in the top 5 and certainly the top 10 of the race. So things are good for Joe Gibbs Racing right now. You're a guy, you and Horace, I don't know what your deal is. You both like smoke. I don't know what the problem is over there, but you and Horace are both smoke guys, and Smoke, to say the least, is struggling.
He might be struggling, but Stuart Haas is not struggling. Okay. You want to talk about solid drivers this year? We can talk Kevin Harvick, the defending champion.
Oh, yeah.
And we can talk Kurt Busch, who has been very good since coming back.
I'll give you that. Danica, not so much.
Danica,
Smoke.
She never really has been, and Tony's had his fair share of struggles this year. But
Smoke is now vapor. There you go. There ain't no smoke here. It's just the vapor. But now he may come back and win, but Horace says Tony Stewart's not the same since what happened last year.
He really isn't. I think that you can see that, and let's cut the guy a little bit of slack here. That's not going to be something that you get over quickly. It may be ever. That's we talked about this last year. That there's a very good chance that he will never be the same driver that he was before that horrific accident happened. But as it is, I think that Tony is a very, very good competitor. He has that drive to succeed and to push himself, and I think that even though he is starting to get up there in age a little bit, and he might start taking a little bit more of an owner role and a less of a driver role, I still think that the guy has some good racing in him, and that he could still compete for a championship.
You still do?
I still do.
All right. So, all right. We'll see. They're heading off to the Monster Mile in Dover, Delaware this week. It's a triple header, of course, the Sprint Cup Series and the Xfinity Series and the Camping World Truck Series, all going to be what they call the Monster Mile in Dover, Delaware. We'll talk more about that coming up, of course, tomorrow. Before we go to the break, we got the quiz show coming up in a few minutes. Again, thanks to Marcus Smith checking in with us. Also later on the show, Kyle Busch will join us. And also coming up at the top of the hour, cross-country and track and field coach Chris Lane from Milligan College. Had a heck of a year. We'll talk to Coach Lane at the top of the hour here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. All right, Kentucky basketball. How big is it, do you say? It was revealed yesterday the Wildcats assistant coach Kenny Payne on a new contract that will pay him $700,000 per year. Now, we can't claim it's the most lucrative contract for an assistant coach in college basketball history, but it got to be close. 700,000 smackers to be the assistant coach for John Calipari. What do you think? By the way, Calipari will make $1.44 million next season.
I think I'm in the wrong profession, is what I think.
I think you're right.
$700,000 to be an assistant coach.
Calipari comes out last week in a speech in front of Kentucky fans at a meeting in Lexington, states that his objective this past season was not to win the national championship. His objective was to get those guys drafted in the NBA. He said, my objective was not to win the title. My objective or goal was to get those guys drafted because that's what they wanted, they being these players. They wanted the national championship. They also wanted to be drafted. And I'm thinking, okay, and I've talked to some Kentucky fans about this since then, and they ain't happy. They said, well, I'm plunking down good hard-earned money to go watch UK play, and this guy's not really interested at the end of the day of winning the national championship. He's more interested in getting those guys. 5 or 6 guys got drafted by UK's team, and we're paying him $1.44 million in salary next season. His assistant's getting paid $700,000. I would like to think that the modus operandi for your basketball program would be, sir, to win, let me think, the national championship. Would you think?
That is the goal. That's what's supposed to be the goal for every single student, athlete, and coach that's in a program is to be the number one team in the nation. I thought that's what it was all about. But you know, you've known this for Calipari for a long time, though. Look at what the guy recruits. He recruits these one-and-done superstars, and that is why I cannot stand, absolutely cannot stand this one-year rule in college basketball. You know, you have to go at least 1 year. I think it's absurd that if you're only going to make them go, what's the point for one season? How much more are you really going to gain and prepare yourself for the NBA by being in college basketball for a year? I think that, if anything, they need to look at the NCAA football and have them in there at least 2. Have them in there at least 2 years. And if your entire goal is just to go be a professional athlete, that's fine. More power to you. But I also think that with the money that you're going to make as a professional athlete, you need to reimburse that university or school that gave you a full ride scholarship for 4 years, and that you're only going to be there for 1.
I'm right there with you, big dog. If I come out of college and I'm making X millions of dollars and you gave me a scholarship to knock me out of, by giving it to me, knock me out of giving it to Horace or whoever else, then you, signing that contract worth millions, need to take that money, at least some of it, to reimburse what it was going to cost to go the 3 more years in college that I've knocked somebody else out of getting a scholarship for.
I'd like to see the university turn around and give that money to somebody less fortunate that doesn't have the athletic means to go get a college education. I think that makes the most sense. And to me, that'd give your school a lot of good press. Like, hey, these guys weren't here. More congratulations, more power to you for being in a professional sports, but we're going to take this money and we're going to throw it around, and we're going to give it to somebody that does not have athletic superstar ability and needs a college education to better their life.
And at the end of the day, oh, by the way, it's the right thing to do.
Yes,
so,
there you go.
When it gets right down to it, back to accountability and integrity. So, and I'm not just picking on Kentucky. I'm talking about all coaches and all systems that if you come out early and go to the NBA for lots and lots of money, the scholarship we gave you to come to our school, just take 4 years, multiply by $20,000 or whatever. Say it's $80,000, and all right, you leave early. That leaves us 3 years. 3 times 20 is 60. Please make a check back to XYZ College for $60,000. God bless you, you and yours, and the money these guys are making. Some of these NBA, I mean, you're talking. What's the guy's name that Larry Bird said was worth $100 million? Willie Cauley-Klein, the guy from Kentucky. Has 3 names, the big guy. Don't have it in front of me.
I don't have it in front of me. I cannot stand Kentucky basketball.
I understand. I gathered that. But anyway, so, he's going to make, if he's making $100 million or whatever he's going to make, $60,000 is like me handing you a $10 bill to this guy. So.
And this, of course, problem, like you said, is not limited to Kentucky. I mean, Duke did this year, too. Duke had a bunch of one-and-dones this year, and they won the title. But I think that was one reason people enjoyed watching Wisconsin play so much this year, is because you had a bunch of juniors and seniors on this team that had been playing with each other for 3-4 years, and they were able to probably take a less talented team than these superstar freshman teams of Kentucky and Duke, and they were still able to go to the national title. Granted, they came up short, but they did end Kentucky's perfect run, and they came so close to beating Duke as well.
And, oh, by the way, Kenny Payne, as we go to the break here, Kenny Payne will now make more money at $700,000 a year as an assistant for John Calipari, Kentucky. Kenny Payne will now make more money than 32% of the head coaches in this season's Big Dance. in the field.
And that's the big dance. Those are these are the top 64 teams in the nation,
Mm-hmm.
and he, as an assistant, is going to be making more than a third of them.
Yeah, there you go. Now, on the flip side, if someone came to me and said, we're going to pay you $700,000 to sit here and do the Tom Taylor Sports Show, where do I sign? So, at the end of the day, I can bust them all I want to, but I think anybody
I'd take the money, too.
would be totally honest, to be totally forthright. You would take that money. I'm not sure I would take $700,000. I won't lie to you, but I would take some of it. I wouldn't leave it on the table. But yes. So can you blame the guy? No. I mean, if they're dumb enough to pay him.
If they're going to pay you that, I'm not saying not take it.
Yeah.
I'm saying as a university, you might want to rethink some things.
Yeah. There you go. No, I'm not faulting Kenny Payne.
No,
I'm faulting
not one bit.
No, I'm faulting Kentucky or whatever other school that's going to pay an assistant coach $700,000. That is a lot of cabbage in the barn. We'll take a quick break. Coming up next is the dreaded, it used to be fun, it's the dreaded quiz show now because I haven't won in these many. In fact, the last time, I feel like the Reds, the last time I won, I'm not sure the last time I won, but Richard Isaac said, Tom, if you don't move that 8 up there, it's a dry erase marker. If it stays up there long enough, it
be a
becomes
shadow.
permanent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it is. you might just want to erase it and redraw it.
And recolor it?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, well, I like to move it. I got 4 for 5 yesterday, got real close, and Gator had that stupid question about Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, whatever. Let's see, what was
it? Let me see if I can get it.
True or false, Jack Nicklaus is the only golfer to hit a hole-in-one in the same hole 2 days in a row. Today he hit it on, number 4, and tomorrow went back out and hit number 4. True or false? Well, I'm thinking about, is it even remotely possible that somebody can hit, what are the odds you hit a hole-in-one to begin with, but the same hole
2 days in a row.
2 days in a row, which is, the
absurd.
odds got to be 1 in 87 trillion.
Oh, yeah, it's got to be huge.
So I'm thinking that. So I said, true. Well, it was false. It happened, but it was Arnold Palmer instead of Jack Nicklaus. I could have reached through the phone and ripped his jugular out.
Oh, I'm sure you could.
4 for 5. And so he's over giggling and cackling. And Horace is having a big time. And I'm thinking, I'd rather go 0 for 5, which I've done, than go 4 for 5 and get that close and miss it. So having said all that, we'll take a break. We'll come back and see how Richard's got for us today. And we're going to be playing for, yes, we are. The young lady we played for last week got real close. Didn't do real good. Denise Lane, we're going to try and play for her, or we will play for her, try and get her a 5 for 5. She wins some pretty cool prizes. We'll do that coming up next. If you see these video timeouts as you are watching and listening to, we appreciate that on this Tuesday, the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Life has its twists and turns. It can take many different shapes. But a good retirement plan changes with your life. And as we talk about what you're putting away and how much you'll need to retire, what was uncertain becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Richard Isaac.
Your life is always changing.
Hey, buddy.
There you go. How's it going, buddy?
You never know what shape it will
Good,
take.
you, man?
Oh, yeah. Hanging right in there.
How your
Next time
financial
we go.
needs
Good.
might change. But if we talk
So
about
you
your
went 4 for
investments
5
and how they can
yesterday.
provide for you and
Yeah.
your family,
Yeah,
the future
but no cigar. Got
becomes
real close. It was a stupid question.
At Wells
So
Fargo
One of
Advisors,
those
we
stupid
believe
questions
conversation
got you,
leads
huh?
to financial
Yeah.
clarity. Let's
Everything
start a
going good in your
conversation
world?
today.
Yeah, going good, buddy.
Good. Yeah. I've had people tell me they've heard the commercial, which is
From the
good. I like
driveways
that.
where your
So-
kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking
I
lots
couldn't hear
at
you,
your
Tom. You
local
there?
church
Yeah,
or
I said
grocery
I've had
store.
people tell me they've heard
Bracken
the
Paving
commercial
is
and
an
like
important
it, so.
part
Oh,
of many
good,
neighborhoods
good.
in our
That's
area.
Glad to hear
No
that.
matter
I've
how
got them
large
sitting
or
right over.
how
I got
small
all
the
of
job,
them on the CD
Bracken
to give
strives
them
for
to you,
excellence
so.
in every service they provide.
No.
It's a
You have
foundation
a good
for a strong
weekend?
community.
Oh,
Discover
Good.
the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt
35
Maintenance.
seconds, 35
Give us a
seconds.
call or visit us online at
Making the
brackenpaving.com.
assumption this is not-
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
And we're back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show again on this Tuesday. Thanks for being with us here. It's time now for the quiz show. Gable, get ready for the quiz show theme because it's time. Richard's with us. And good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
Good. How about you, Tom?
Just fine, sir. How's everything going at Kingsport Cabinetry? You guys running wide open right now?
Yeah, we are. We're trying to get some stuff finished up that we've been working on for a while. So, had projects that been kind of big, so we've had to work on them for a while, but we're about to get them knocked out.
Yeah, and so when you give quotes, talk about that for a second. Your quotes are free, is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, we don't charge anything for the quotes, anything like that. We come out and try to get measurements and draw it up for you, what we think that you'll want, and make sure you're pleased with it, get you a price on it, and if it works for you, then we'll do it.
And so what are folks having you do? Are they doing cabinets? Are they doing countertops? A little bit of both right now?
Yeah, a little bit of both right now. We're doing cabinets and countertops right now. Some jobs are cabinets, new construction cabinets. Got some countertops we've been doing, just about anything people want, entertainment centers, things like that.
All right, so the number to call is 292-2854. Is that right?
That's correct.
Call and talk to our buddy Richard. That goes right to his cell phone. He's there on the other end. He'll be ready for you. And all right, let's see what we can do here. Quiz show time. Hit the music. All righty. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Oh, me, oh, my.
Hey, Tom.
Yes, sir?
I'm pulling for you today, 5 for 5, but just in case you don't make it, I found something yesterday or this weekend that I had an Old Dale Jr. hat, and it had a number 8 on it. And when I saw it this weekend, I thought about you, and I thought, man, I need to give that to Tom.
There you go. Oh, me, oh, my.
So I'm pulling for you today.
Yeah.
But just in case you don't make it, I got a hat for you, okay?
There you go. It's got a big 8 on it because it's been up there for a while. All right. We're playing for Denise Lane in Kingsport. Denise is our buddy, and she listens. In fact, she sent us a post a few minutes ago. She's listening. We appreciate that. So we'll try and get her a free gift certificate from Cracker Barrel. She'll also get a free oil change from American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. She'll also, well, maybe she won't, but someone of the male species can get a free haircut at Cherokee Barbershop. And again, also, as we said, the oil change, and also a couple of all-day passes to Bays Mountain Park. So here we go. Question number 1. Richard, let's see if we can bring it home today, my friend.
All right, buddy, here we go. I hadn't asked you any animal trivia in a while.
Oh, no.
So I thought I'd throw a few of those in, animal
man.
or bug trivia, whatever you want to call it.
All right.
But number 1, true or false, a spider has 8 legs.
A spider has 8 legs. True or false? I'll say true.
Good job. All right.
Oh, Lord.
We're on a roll here.
Okay.
Number 2,
All right.
true or false, a cow's sweat glands are located in its nose.
True.
Good job. Come
Oh.
on.
I knew that
Ring
one.
that bell.
I know a lot about moo cows. All right. All right.
Switching off here. This is just a general trivia.
All right.
There's approximately 3 times more pressure in a bottle of champagne than in an automobile tire. True or false?
What? Where did you get that one at? That's good. There's more pressure in a champagne bottle than an automobile tire. Is that true or false, what you're asking?
That's true or false.
Oh.
More pressure in a bottle of champagne than in an automobile tire.
Conventional thinking would say, but this ain't conventional. I'm going to say, let's see, you're saying there's more pressure in a champagne bottle. I'm going to say that's true.
All right.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm 3 for 3.
Oh. Ooh, and now it's getting tight, isn't it? Okay.
Getting tight.
Here we go. Tom, I'll drop back to an old question I had for you, probably way back when we first started doing this quiz show with you, just to see if you retained anything, okay?
Okay.
Because you missed it the first time.
Okay.
All right. Baseball trivia. On a full-size baseball field, the pitcher's mound is exactly halfway between second base and home plate. True or false?
I missed this before, so you know after you gave me the answer, if I miss it again, I'm really stupid. So, all right. The question again is the pitcher's mound's exactly halfway between home plate and second base. Is that correct, true or false?
That's the question. True or false?
Gable, I have no clue. I mean, I should know this. I'm going to say, oh, gosh, if I miss this twice, Richard Isaacs will laugh me all the way to Sir Gornsville. Let's see. Baseball pitcher's mound, it is exactly halfway between home plate and second base. True or false? I'm going to say true. Oh, my gosh.
I thought you was going to totally redeem yourself, man.
No, I forgot it the first time. Now what's even worse, I missed it 2 times in a row. How dumb can I be?
It's closer to home, okay?
Oh,
Just
my
for future
gosh.
reference.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Sorry, Denise.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
number
Let's go ahead
5.
and do this senseless number 5 here.
Senseless number 5, yep. Go ahead.
All right. True or false?
Good
Baseball trivia. Babe Ruth was the first player to be inducted in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. True or false?
That is false.
That is false. You got 4 for 5 again.
Yeah. Oh, Richard, I missed the question you asked me before. That's even worse. Apester just sent me something and said, not again. So, yep, 4 for 5, 2 days in a row. And the worst part is it's the question you asked me before, and I still didn't get it right because I apparently wasn't paying attention. So
I know it. I thought, well, I'm going to pull out an old one that Tom missed just see if he's learning anything from these trivia shows. Apparently not.
Apparently not.
He's not.
Richard, that was a total act of desperation on your part trying to help me out to bring back a recycle an old question, and I still didn't do it good. So I am so sorry. I apologize. I feel like a complete doofus. So.
Oh, you're good, buddy. You're very
Lord.
good. I always enjoy it. Had a good time. Hope you enjoy doing it.
I know you. Oh yeah. I love.
We have a good time at your expense, don't we, Tom?
Yeah, that's right. I can come on there and be humiliated for about 10 minutes every week. You got it. That's all right. That's what it's all about. It's a lot of fun. Richard, thank you. Stay busy, my friend. I'll talk to you next week, all right?
Hey, have a great week, guys. See you
yes,
later.
sir. Take
Bye-bye.
care. Appreciate him very, very much. Again, that's our buddy Richard Isaac. Hit the theme music, Gable. Let me just kind of slither off here. Oh, Lord.
Stings, doesn't it?
Oh, matter no wet end. Oh, yeah. Just jacks me up. Yesterday, I got so close to that stupid question, and now, see, the stupid is on my end. When he asked the same question, I still don't get it right. I mean, but I would have thought the baseball diamond was halfway between home and – did you know that it wasn't?
I knew.
Oh, now you can tell me. Yeah,
what do you want me to? No, I'm not the one getting quizzed here. All right, don't look at me. I am merely a producer. Okay, I am a humble producer over here.
Stupid questions. I'm so tired of being stuck on 8. Maybe tomorrow the Apester will do the Elvis questions. Will say he was born in Graceland. True or false? Graceland's in Tennessee. True or false? His mother had a pink Cadillac. True or false? I mean, that'd be good. So I could get some easy ones to get off this 8. Get off the snide. Oh, me, oh, my. Anyway, good try. Sorry, Denise Lane. No cigar, no prizes, and we'll try it again tomorrow. The Apester will do the – oh, you'll be with me tomorrow.
I'll be here.
Elvis questions tomorrow. All right. It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thank you for being with us. Embarrassment abounds here. God, I got the same question wrong twice. That's really going to bother me all day. That's going to get to me.
It should.
Oh, it should.
I hope so.
Thank you, Gabe. Thank you. That's gotten to me. It bugs me. All right, let's talk about your Reds when we go to the break to the top of the hour. Then coming up, we're going to check in with Chris Lane, the track and field coach at Milligan College. Also, later on to the show, Larry Kaiser joins us, one of our great sponsors with the Smart Ride program. But Chris Lane from Milligan College coming up here in about 6 or 7 minutes. But first, your Reds in trouble.
I'll admit
Brian
it now.
Price got to go.
No,
He's out. He's got to go.
I don't think it's a Brian Price issue. I really don't. I don't think it's the manager. I am of the firm belief that it is your team when you're hitting 180 with runners in scoring position. There's nothing. Manager can't do anything about that. I mean, these guys are professional ball players. You've got to do better than hitting 180 with runners in scoring position. They're absolutely pathetic.
Well, how do you fix it?
Well,
the same guys up there swinging the sticks. You can't go reload the whole team.
Well, that's why I think Price is trying to do what he can in his power, which is switch the lineup around, try to put some guys in some different spots. He's got Billy Hamilton hitting ninth now instead of first. You know, Votto's in the 3-hole still, but he had Brandon Phillips leading off, going with a veteran. He put Cozart in the 2 spot, Votto in the 3. Marlon Bird's been playing well, so he has him in the 4. Finally, Jay Bruce has got his average over 200, and he's starting to hit a little bit better, and he got him in the 5 spot. So Price is doing everything in his power to get these guys to do what he can get them to do. But, I mean, being a manager can only go so far. You can't go out there and hit it for them. Probably wishes he could.
I totally disagree, but
Well, what do you think?
I think you fire him.
Why?
Well, I'm mad at him because of his tirade. They didn't do anything.
Okay.
So, and
Did you see that he got ejected before the game even started last week?
Yeah, I sent Horace a text. I said he's coming unglued. I mean, the guy's out there before the game exchanging lineup cards and snaps. Okay. Now, to go back and tell the story, the night before, the second base umpire, I assume you know the baseball way things go, folks out there listening and watching, but they rotate the umpires.
Mm-hmm.
One night you're first base and you rotate home plate, and so in a series of 4 games, you rotate each position. So not the same umpire is at the same place every night. All right, so the home plate umpire the night before was the second base umpire on Saturday, I guess it was, when he got tossed. So part of the tradition or formality of baseball, before the game, each manager brings their starting lineup card to the home plate umpire to verify who's going to be starting. It's an official thing you got to do.
Right.
So while they're standing there, which is usually kind of a jovial, kind of yuck, how you doing, kind of exchanging pleasantries. Well, Price, who's already come unglued once in the season with his, what was it, 77 F-bomb tirade?
F-bombs in 6.5 minutes.
Yeah. So right there, he's out. If I hear one, it's enough. I hear 77 in 5 minutes. I don't care who you are. You're out. Reds haven't done anything to him. Not going to do anything to him. Tom let it go. It's been 6 weeks ago. They're not going to do anything to him. But me as an American, I don't have to follow this team. And I followed them since I was a little guy. That's not who they represent when they got a guy out there dropping F-bombs. That's not who I want to represent me as the manager of the Cincinnati Reds, period. Get rid of him. Until you do, I'm not going to follow him. It's just that simple. I'm old school. So anyway, Saturday, fast forward the tape to what Gable said. He goes out to exchange lineup cards before the game even starts and gets into a rhubarb with the second base umpire, arguing, giving him a bunch of malarkey about the way he called the game the night before. Now, first thing is, can you change that?
No, you cannot.
No. Second thing is, more times than not, when he does that, all right, when he gets on the umpire, I would think at any point in the game there's going to be a questionable call, it's going to go against you. The guy's only human. Because, like, okay, I remember Price giving me a bunch of stuff for the game, and he's going to make a call. All right? Not intentionally, but it's human nature. These people are human, right? You agree?
They are human. You're right. I agree.
Well, I know you know they're human, but would you agree?
I've agreed with everything you've said so far.
So if there's a questionable call, and I'm giving you a bunch of lip service before the game, you got a questionable call, you may rule against me when it's a tit-for-tat kind of call because Taylor's over there flapping his jaws at me, and is that right? Is that possible?
It could be. It could also go the other way.
Could be make good call.
You never know.
Right. The bottom line is the guy walks out. It's only happened twice in Major League Baseball history. Steve Burrows did it with the San Diego Padres. A manager getting tossed out before the game even starts, simply handing lineup cards, and they start jawing each other. And he jawed more than the umpire wanted. He said, "Hey, you're out before we even start the game." Now, to me, that shows the old boy's coming unglued. And frustration is set in on a team that should be challenging the Cardinals for the lead, and they're slipping and sliding. The white flag's out. We're waving it.
Well, I read a very good article last week, a couple days ago.
Right.
And it was all about getting tossed out of a baseball game, managers getting tossed out of ball games.
Right.
And a lot of the times the managers, they're not arguing the call. Like there was several stories of umpires that said they thought they made the exact right call. They thought they nailed it, and here comes the manager that the call went against, whose team it went against, storming out of the dugout, just marching, making a beeline right for him.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll say things to him like, "Hey, you're going to have to throw me out of this game. I agree with your call, but I'm about to chew your head off." I mean, but he'll be yelling this at him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's trying to inspire his team to, get up and do something, start playing better, fight, basically trying to be an inspiration to his team. And that half the time that these guys go out there, they're not even mad about the actual calls. They're trying to, get their team with some inspiration and some giddy up in their step and go out there and play a little bit better. That's half the time. That's what these umpires say it all is, even though it looks absolutely torrid and violent between what these guys are saying to each other. And don't get me wrong, there's times it is, and it's downright nasty talk that you don't want to say around your mother. But it's still a lot of the times it's just them trying to get their guys inspired and out there playing better.
So you're telling me the guy gets
I don't know if that's what Price was doing. For all we know, Price is a hothead that maybe isn't quite ready to be a big league ball manager. We don't know that, but at the same time, I think that you see that he sees that his team is slipping very quickly out of contention.
Yes.
They're probably 12 games, 13 games back now.
I can tell you that. Go ahead.
And
I'm more glad to tell you that.
I think that he might have been trying to, get these guys to do something about it. And because they're not right now. They're playing. This 9-game losing streak that they are currently on is the longest losing streak that the Reds have had since 1998.
There you go.
You have to go back to the last millennium.
Reds are 18-26. They're 10.5 out, and they are 3 games away from the cellar in the Central Division. Only one worse is the lowly
Milwaukee Brewers.
And they're not that low. They're only 2 games out or 3 games out from being there. Braves, by the way, are a 500 club at 22-22, and the Cardinals continue to play the best in baseball. They're at 29-16, and they lead everybody, including the Cubbies, by 4.5. So, all right, having said all that, I'll give you all that. I'll give you that. But the bottom line is this payroll is pretty hefty. You got guys that are woefully underperforming for the second consecutive year, and maybe even go back when they had the meltdown with Dusty Baker 3 years ago in the playoffs. Basically the same cast of characters, with the exception of maybe 6 or 7 guys.
It's the same core of guys.
Same core guys, and they're still the same thing. You ain't getting nothing out of them. So at some point, you just start unloading people. Johnny Cueto didn't pitch the other night, scratched with a sore elbow. All right, the last time out, he was very vocal about his team had given him in 4 outings 2 runs in 4 games. He said, I'm doing my job, they need to do their job, meaning the offense and the rest of the team.
He's right.
All right. Who's to say Cueto just didn't say, it just kind of feels a little tight. Don't believe I'm going to pitch this time around, to get a message to the guys. Because he is the ace of the staff. This is his re-signing year.
And he wants to stay in Cincinnati. He said that he wants that. But then again, Jocketty, the GM, they know that they're probably not going to be able to afford Cueto and the money that he is rightfully deserving of. I mean, this is the guy that, if it weren't for Kershaw, he would have won the Cy Young last year. This guy is deserving of a big-time contract. But, I can't say that I would blame him for wanting to leave now at this point, because these guys are not giving him the run support. And it's not like he's asking for much. The guy goes out there, and 9 times out of 10, he's given up 3 runs or less. He's doing his job, getting 10 strikeouts a game. I mean, he's been on point this season like he has the last 4 seasons. And the offense, he's right. They are not doing what they need to do to give him a win.
After the Rockies leave after tomorrow, then after a day off, the Washington Nationals come to town for the weekend.
That's going to get ugly.
They're going to get ugly.
That could get ugly.
BP at Great American Ballpark.
And especially the way Bryce Harper's playing right now.
That'll be what gets Brian Price. If they get hammered, they get shelled for 3 games, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to end the month.
Well, they're going to have to beat Colorado one of these games. If they don't beat Colorado in the next 2 days, I think they're in trouble then.
There you go. We'll take a quick break. We're wrapping up the Reds. The Reds Report tomorrow. Greg Salyer will join us with the Reds Report he does every week. Again, the Braves at 22-22 right now. 500 ball club for you Braves fans. Reds, they're not good. They are not playing well right now. And listen to the radio play-by-play man, the Hall of Famer. He is all over him like a duck on a June bug. He is much more vocal now than he's ever been. And he's been around the greatest of the great, the Big Red Machine, and the 90 World Series. So he's seen supremacy for the Reds, and he's obviously seen underachieving for the Reds. That's what they've been doing for the last couple of years. So anyway, that's what's happened to the Reds. We still support them on the cusp, on the fringe, not like I used to, until they do something to Brian Price. And again, everybody says, get over it. It happened 3 or 4 weeks ago. They're not going to do anything. I said, okay. And I guess I need to just quietly protest and quit talking about it, because they're not going to do anything. But anybody else, you go to a job, you go to Eastman, pick any place. Eastman, any place, you go in and do a 77 F-bomb tirade in 6 minutes and see if you still got a job. Try it on. Well, I don't want you to try it. Walk into any restaurant, any place where you can be gainfully employed in the Tri-Cities, and go into a 77, not 1, not 2, 77 times a guy drops the F-bomb in 6 minutes and see if you still have a job. Or at least at the minimum be suspended. Either a couple of days, go home till you cool off, go to anger management classes, go somewhere and do something. Instead of just going, they ask some of the Reds, that's no big deal. He just got mad. Okay. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. We're going from the Reds to Milligan College. Chris Lane, the coach of the very successful track and field team at Milligan College, the land of the Buffaloes. He joins us coming up next year in hour number 2 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Life has its twists and turns. It can take many different shapes. But a good retirement plan changes with your life. And as we talk about what you're putting away and how much you'll need to retire, what was uncertain becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Then try your call.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Please start again or dial 0 for instructions.
You got 1 minute.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show, starting hour number 2. Thanks for being with us here on, again, this beautiful Tuesday. Again, livestream.com, and then later on tonight, we got iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher phone app, and also on YouTube. Let's go to the phonies there. The coach of Milligan College Track and Field, and had a heck of a year, Chris Lane. Coach, good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
Good afternoon. Doing great. Thanks for having us on.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you very much. Let's talk about it. You guys and ladies had a great run down the stretch and made some noise nationally for Milligan College. Tell me about it.
Well, you know, we have a little hashtag that we float around internally that says "Ready when it counts," and for us, we really put a lot of emphasis on being ready at championships. And you know, you're always nervous. You've done it, you know, 15 years in a row, but you're still nervous, and I think that holds you accountable. And so we were extremely proud of taking that small but mighty crew down the Gulf Shores and to have them perform the way they did. You know, 3 men on the roster down there, and they finished 21st in the country. You know, and then you look at, you know, across the board, 2 national runner-ups, 4 All-Americans out of a group of 6 total. So, you know, just really proud that as a staff we can deliver for these kids and have them ready, you know, ultimately when it does count.
Let's talk about them. Brandon Ellis, Hannah Seagrave, Christian Brewer, and Joey Watson. Tell us about these folks that did Milligan College very well.
Well, Brandon Ellis comes from Oklahoma. You know, there were I can't take all the credit because his brother was a national champion in the marathon at Oklahoma Baptist. His other brother was an All-American in the marathon at Oklahoma Baptist. So we stole him away, and he was a modest 5K guy in cross country, but had that desire to run the marathon, and we really liked that. And you gotta figure, you know, hey, there are genetics there. This young man might have what it takes, and so we typically don't like to move to the marathon until about their junior year. And we sat down, and he proved pretty early on that he was a durable kid. And so last year, you know, he went to the marathon. I think at 16 miles into the race, he was 46th, and then he ended up finishing 13th because, you know, running in Gulf Shores, it's hot, it's humid, and he played it smart last year. So we knew we had a shot to go back and look at being an All-American, and that's what we set the plan up to to do. And then lo and behold, he was ready on the day and took advantage of it. And he's just a tough kid that really has a high, he's got a big engine internally, cardiovascularly, and then he's got a pain tolerance and can push the envelope there. And so I think, for him, that was really the key. He's just a tough kid and great genetics, and so it's kind of neat to see that happen this early in his career. Joey Watson, he's a freshman, back-to-back All-American honors. He's the kind of freshman you want. He's your quarterback because he's a student of the sport. He's in the film room. He's studying everything from a technical standpoint. You know that he's getting his work in the weight room. Sometimes you even have to just pull him back a little bit. And so he's wise beyond his years. And, again, he's gotten stronger. He's improved. He was almost, he went from 1567. These are meters out of high school. And he threw 1660 outdoors this year. So, big jump for Joey as well. And he and Coach Corey, our throws coach, have a great relationship, and have a nice balance between the two, for sure. Hannah Seagrave, I think, very well may be the most talented athlete that we've had at Milligan College in our program in the 15 years that I've been there. She's established herself not just in the NAI, not just regionally, but she certainly established herself on a national stage as somebody to watch. Probably one of the top 10 or 15 sophomores in the nation over 800 meters, and that's every division. She's just a special young lady. She wants to be good. She wants to do this as long as she can. And, for a coach, that's a dream to have somebody like that. And then you take Christian Brewer, kind of come from a different angle. He started off at a Division I school. He had a full scholarship. He got run into the ground there. He got injured. He got disenchanted, and as we say, he was down in the doldrums, and even took a year and a half off. And it took a long time to get him back to the point where he was starting to recognize what he was doing as a high school athlete, which he was one of the top 3 kids in the state of Tennessee. And he's not done yet. Christian's a senior. He's going to graduate from Milligan. But we're going to go down to Nashville and race at Vanderbilt 2 weekends from now, because we just think he's got the ability to keep going, and I just kind of want to see what he's got left in the tank and how far he might be able to go, because he's a talented kid. I think he's ranked one of the top 10 milers in the state of Tennessee among all collegians, and so it's an exciting bunch for sure.
We're talking to Chris Lane, the head track and field coach, of course, from Milligan College. We check in with him every week at this time. Brandon Ellis, a runner-up in the marathon. Hannah Seagrave, runner-up in the country in the 800. Again, Joey Watson, as we said, took 5th place in the shot put. And then Christian Brewer finished 7th in the country in the 1500, all earning All-American honors. Coach, you've got 54 All-Americans since the program restarted in 2000. That is quite an accomplishment for Milligan College.
Well, we just, we want to create a culture, and I think we've got a lot that we want to accomplish, but we're proud of that, and I think, to get to that level in the NAI, is commensurate with being, a top kid in a mid-major Division I program. A lot of these kids could be at D1 schools. A lot of them could compete at Division I conference championships, could compete at the NCAA region championships. Hannah, we went down to Tennessee this year. She won that meet over 2 girls from Virginia Tech that had been to the NCAA Division I meet. So those are all things we want to continue to do. And I think, it's just like I had a conversation last night with somebody. It's like the program at Daniel Boone. Coach Jeffers out there has created a culture, and we hope that we're creating a culture that continues to grow and get better and better.
We're talking to Chris Lane, the Milligan track and field coach. So I would think, based on this success, recruiting future Buffaloes probably gets a little bit easier because you're now on the national scope, right? Folks know you all over the country?
Well, and they do. And I got an email from a coach in the Bahamas this afternoon, and he had obviously he had alluded to the results from the NAIA meet. Now, who knows who else he had emailed, but he was obviously paying attention to some degree. And I think the biggest thing for us is getting folks to understand that in our sport, it's an individual sport. If you've got an institution that's going to provide a great academic environment, which we do, if you've got an institution that's going to provide a great running and track and field environment, which we do, the name on the door doesn't necessarily always matter in this case. Find a place that's a good fit, and we believe we're a good fit for kids that are high-end academic kids that want to come in and be developed individually, not thrown into the fire. And so, that's something that we just continue to build on. But it's not easy. It's not easy to get kids away, the blue-chip kids away from the big programs. And so we've got to continue to find folks that fit for us, that buy into who we are, and give us an opportunity to, as Steve Spurrier says, coach them up.
Absolutely. Chris Lanigan, the Milligan track and field coach, again finishing 21st in the country, again adding some more All-Americans to the program. Where do we go from here? Last question, do they have a downtime this summer? Do you have a camp for them? What do these kids do this summer before they come back to school?
So they all get a break now. So depending upon their event area, sprinters, it's a little different than the distance runners, but the distance crew will get 2 weeks off, and then they'll start their summer preparation mid-June, because we come out of the gate pretty quickly. September 4th, I believe, a Friday afternoon, we have our first cross-country meet. So we want them to go home. We want them to eat a little bit more of the stuff they haven't been able to eat. We want them to sleep a little bit more and decompress, as we like to say. But most of these folks, most of our crew will be back at it within 2 or 3 weeks, and then we'll have our eye on getting ready for 15 and 16.
There you go. Hey, we're very proud of you. Thank you for taking the time to promote your program on our show. We're going to get back to you again and do this very, very soon to promote your youngsters. So thank you very much. Enjoy a few days off yourself, and hey, we'll talk to you soon. All right.
Thanks for your time. We really appreciate it, and go Buffs.
You got to go Buffs. Again, Chris Lane, again, the Milligan College track and field coach, again, took him from, had a heck of a run to the 21st ranking in the country. And again, brought home 4 more All-Americans, as you heard, Brewer and Watson and Seagraves. And who was the last one I said? Probably the one I should know. Seagrave and Watson and Brewer and Ellis, Brandon Ellis. So congratulations there, and we appreciate them very much. Hey, it's the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Our thought for the day comes from our buddy Larry Kaiser from Larry Kaiser Nationwide Insurance. He's going to join us coming up at the bottom of the hour about the Smart Ride program. Here's the thought for the day. This is good, too. This is, as Andy Griffith would say, this is pure, this is mighty fine. The man who makes no mistakes does not normally make anything. The man who makes no mistakes does not normally make anything. There you go. What do you think, Gable?
I'd agree with that.
Yeah. The man who makes no mistakes does not normally make anything. So, as my dad used to say, boys, you can't get a base hit with the bat on your shoulder in the dugout. Get out there. You may strike out, you may get a hit, but you'll never know sitting in there on the old dugout bench.
Got to break a few eggs to make an omelet.
Oh, oh, where'd that come from?
Never heard of that one?
No, got to break a few eggs to make an omelet.
That's right.
Write that down. That's good. I'm gonna start using that. Let me get make sure I can read your penmanship. Go ahead and write that down. I like that. Has to break a few eggs, make an omelet. I like that. Hackett, you're just on top of things.
Yeah, what can I say?
You're like Boo-Boo. You're smarter than the average bear. Boo-Boo. It is the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Again, we appreciate you being with us very, very much. You can Facebook us, like us and follow us, I should say, at Facebook, at facebook.com/the Tom Taylor Sports Show. This is our 16th week together. And starting tomorrow, we'll give you a chance to get qualified to win tickets to go see the Thunder Valley Nationals, the Drags, coming up, the NHRA at Bristol Dragway Father's Day weekend, which is right around the corner in, 3 weeks? Is that right?
Yeah, we're getting close.
2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. Wow. 2 weeks. You got to break a few eggs to make an omelet. There you go. I like that. Way to go, Gabester. That's good. All right, speaking, by the way, starting tomorrow, again, we'll give you the chance to tell you how to do it, like we did race tickets for the April Spring Race at Bristol, and we'll have Brandon on tomorrow, and we'll be able to tell you, and it's pretty exciting stuff, how you can get qualified to win tickets to the NHRA Thunder Valley Nationals at Bristol Dragway coming up Father's Day weekend. That'll start tomorrow. Talking about Cueto.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see this?
No. Reds
pitcher Johnny Cueto to undergo MRI on elbow.
Uh-oh.
That ain't good.
That ain't good.
No, that's not good. No. There's a slew of them here to talk about. There's all kinds of – let's do this one. MRI reveals no structural damage for Reds starting pitcher Johnny Cueto. So they said 11:08 is going to have an MRI, so it's come out at 2:15. So I guess it's going to be okay. That's a good thing. Received an MRI on Tuesday as a precautionary to look into his elbow stiffness to keep him from making his latest start on Sunday. Manager Brian Price probably crossing his fingers, didn't expect him to miss more than one start. Cueto wanted to get a second opinion. 60 strikeouts and 65 in the third innings of work this season. He's 3-4 with an ERA at 3.03, getting no help from his team. And so he appears to have avoided a significant injury for the Red Leg starter, which is a good thing, right?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah, Mr. Cueto. Now, there's a trade brewing twixt the Dodgers and the Braves. And the Braves third baseman, and I don't follow the Braves. I should, I guess, since we live here in the South.
Chris Johnson, isn't it?
Calaspo, is that how you say it?
Oh, Callaspo.
Callaspo?
Mm-hmm.
He said he ain't going.
Okay. Does he have a no-trade clause that he can say that?
I'm fixing to say that. So, fixing to ask that. And we're also going to talk about Josh Hamilton, but how do you say his name again? Alberto
Callaspo.
Callaspo, thank you. Braves third baseman Alberto Callaspo, thank you, has reportedly rejected a trade to the Dodgers. He was expected to be a part of a 6-player deal, which would also send Juan Uribe to Atlanta. What's his name again?
Callaspo.
Had the right to reject the trade as part of the collective bargaining agreement because he signed with the team last offseason. He is a candidate to be designated for assignment. He is hitting a paltry .206 with 8 RBIs and 107 at-bats this season. So there was a 6-player deal, and he's kind of blew it up, says, nope, I'm not going. So
who are the other players involved in the trade?
Gabe Hackett, Tom Taylor, Julio Dingshakovich, John Shakamonupi, and Zippity Doodah. I have no clue.
Well, there you go.
That's all they said.
They're probably not even hitting a combined my weight.
No. So, anyway, that's the very latest on what's going on with the Bravos. They're 22-22, a 500 ball club. So. Yeah, that's my phone ringing.
Better than the Reds.
Yeah, well, yeah. All right, tell me about Josh Hamilton. He's been bounced around. He got traded from the Angels to the Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
What's the latest on him?
Well, last night was his season debut. First time he'd been on a baseball field since last season. And, of course, he had the unfortunate offseason where, he's already had a problematic history with alcohol and drugs. And,
cocaine, yep.
And he had a relapse in the offseason and fell back into that. The Angels management was absolutely furious and didn't want anything to do with him. Not a thing. They were very bitter and distraught over the whole situation. And the owner of the Angels basically promised that Josh Hamilton would never play another game in an Angels uniform. So as a result, Hamilton got traded back to his former team, the Texas Rangers. And after doing very well at the AAA level, he got called up, started last night. Was not the Hollywood ending that you might think it would be. He had a couple strikeouts. He did manage to score a run, but he did also have took a bad angle on a Jason Kipnis fly ball and botched a catch there. But the Rangers were still able to beat the Indians at Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. And I know that reading what Hamilton's post-game interviews and everything, he was just very happy to be back playing baseball again. He didn't think that he might ever get to play again at the professional level. And granted, his days of being an all-star, hitting 40 home runs and over 100 RBIs, those are well behind him. But this is a guy that could still contribute to a major league ball club. He can bring plenty of experience, a veteran leadership type of role. And the Rangers right now, they're hot. They're playing very well, good baseball right now. I see them being a potential wild card team out in the American League. So I wish the best to Josh. Of course, he's also dealing with a lot of personal grief right now, going through a divorce with his wife. I believe she has custody of their 4 daughters.
And a restraining order. She doesn't want him around the kids because he's relapsing from alcohol and cocaine, so she says.
That's understandable to not want him, to be around your daughters. I get that, but I do hope that Josh is able to put this behind him once and for all, not have any more relapses back into this type of situation, because when he, the 1 year that he was in Cincinnati, he absolutely beat the tar out of the baseball. And then we all know what he did in Texas when he wasn't, on alcohol and drugs. The guy was absolutely raking, mashing, got that massive contract from the Angels. And, so we know the guy can play baseball at a very high level, and I wish him nothing but the best and hope that he's able to finally put this these drugs and alcohol behind him.
Coming up, we're going to be joined by head football coach Graham Clark at Dobbins Minute to find out how things went in spring football practice. We talked to Stacy Carter a couple of weeks ago about what happened in the Hilltopper country. Also, we're going to be working and talking to some of the other coaches. Yes, school's out. Some of them are heading off to vacation, but they've also said we'll talk football as they won't be gone for long. Come right back, get ready for 2-a-days and start practice not that far away for the fall football season. Also, got a story. We've heard all about the bad guys. Not the bad guys, but the jarheads here this morning and this afternoon, I should say, with McDonald and Peterson and Josh Hamilton we just talked about. Well, we got a good story from a guy by the name of Billy Donovan, former coach of the Florida Gators, did something really cool, really classy. We'll tell you all about that coming up before we get out of here. Also, Larry Kaiser joins us from Larry Kaiser Nationwide Insurance. And also a story of all people to get involved in a sports story. Mick Jagger, the lead singer of the Rolling Stones, is getting involved in sports.
Oh, goodness.
It's going to be good.
I'm just picturing him dancing around
on
on stage right now.
Prancing.
The little, he puts his arms there on his hips and everything. Yeah. That's all that I have going through my head
Singing,
right now.
Stop Me Up.
Yeah, there you
Stop Me Up. Yeah.
Little West Virginia British accent right there.
Not very good. Thank you. It didn't do well, did it? No. Stop Me Up. Okay. Mick Jagger. What? Yeah. He's involved. He's voicing his opinion. Why would we even give him even credence at all? But we're going to, because Mick Jagger's going to talk, of all things, about the National Football League. So we're going to talk about that. Also, Kyle Busch joins us between now and the top of the hour. Quick break on this side of the fence. We'll do that. And when we come back, we will be joined by Graham Clark, head football coach of the Dobbins Minute Indians. Actually, we'll go that way. And we'll check in with Coach Clark, talk about spring football practice and how it went. He'll join us coming up next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Kingsport Cabinetry installs cabinets and countertops all over the three-state region. Owner Richard Isaacs tells us how they can do a lot of things, including light remodeling.
We can do a lot of what I would call light remodeling. We don't want to build a room addition, but we don't care to take down a wall and move some electrical and change some plumbing and things like that to fit. If you're doing a new kitchen, you're tearing it out, a lot of times you want it to be a little different than it was before. Maybe the layout a little different, incorporate a bar or an island or something like that. So we offer a lot of service that I don't think that you'll find everywhere else.
Quotes are free. Been in business almost 30 years. They do both residential and commercial cabinets and countertops. Call today, 247-6134, 247-6134, Kingsport Cabinetry. American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, one family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447. Bring it up, big boy. Let's see if we can get hold of Coach Graham Clark. Talk a little Dobyns Middle football. She's a one-ring-a-dingy here on this Tuesday. Again, thanks for being with us on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We appreciate that very, very much. And, again, working our way through a Tuesday, May the 26th, 2015. And we appreciate him.
Clark's Landscaping.
Yeah. There he is, the head football coach of Dobyns Middle, Graham Clark. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
Tom Taylor, I'm out here in this bright sunshine with my affiliates Barrett, Dunn, Thompson, and Franklin, and we're pulling weeds and just having a big time.
There you go, doing a little landscaping. So that's what you do in the summertime, do you not?
Little college money, brother, little college money. One of these days I'm going to get them all through. Me and you'll sit out by the pool.
Sit by the pool and watch somebody else do it, right?
Strum the guitar. and just have a big old time.
Sing Merle Haggard. You and I like Haggard, so.
I got swinging doors, a jukebox, and a bar stool. That makes Mama cry, don't it?
You got that right. Well, you just finished up spring football practice at Dobyns Middle. Tell me how it went for the tribe, would you please?
You know, Tom, not bad. Was pleased with. Especially, I thought our defense, our linebacker play was good. Of course, we had 4 still in track and a couple in baseball. So you're missing some skill position, guys. Came into spring knowing we needed to replace 4 offensive linemen, and got a couple of guys hurt early that we hoped would step up, and so we weren't really able to evaluate them much. But overall, the effort was good. The will was good, and we got a few things accomplished.
Again, refresh my memory, who are some of the key kids you lost from a year ago that you got to replace?
Well, of course, Tyler Norris and Taylor Helton, 2 big offensive linemen. Tyler is going to Appalachian State. Taylor's going to University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, as full scholarship guys. So obviously they were outstanding. We lost Blake Ruth at an offensive guard. We lost, I'm leaving one out, Tom, dadgummit. Obviously, those were key guys up front. Skylar East, our quarterback, Mikhail Foreman, who had 56 catches for us. You can remember years when we didn't throw it 56 times, can't you?
Yes. Yes, I can. We're Dr. Graham Clark.
It's a new day. It's a new day.
Absolutely.
We slung it around last year. We lost Josh Holt, very valuable defensive player, Rashad Hunter, who anchored our defensive line last year. And, of course, Josh Holt started for us 3 years in the secondary and played some as a freshman for us.
We're talking to Graham Clark again, the head football coach at Dobyns Middle. So spring practice behind you. What is up next now? Do the guys in the weight room? Is it a dead period? What's going on now?
Well, we're taking a week off, and actually a week and a half, and then we will get back in the weight room June the 1st. Rules have changed. You can use a ball in June, so we'll throw it around a little bit, and then we'll have some of our Indian Olympic competitions, which we've been doing since March with grades. We had a draft. We divided into 10 teams, and we have You know, we got so many points for A's and B's and lost so many for D's and F's. You know, then we'll start to have some competitions here. Last summer we had track meet, ping pong, putt-putt, bowling, swim meet, track meet, just anything to, you know, keep guys competing a little bit, having fun, and enjoying bonding together.
We're talking to Graham Clark, again, the head football coach of the Dobyns Minute Indians. So that starts June 1st, some weightlifting and some of those, as you said, Indian Olympics. So when does practice start? What is there new rules this year by the TSSAA as far as when practice can start and week 0, or is all that still the same?
No, there are some new things. There is a 3-day acclimatization period before you can get in full gear. You get shoulder pads and helmets. I believe that starts July 22nd. And then the next week, we get in full tilt, full gear. Last year started some new rules on 2-a-day practices. And this coming year, there's no new rules on preseason practice, but there's a number of things like in-season that will limit the amount of contact you can have on consecutive days. So there are some new rules, but they're mostly pertaining to in-season.
Now, you had spring practice wrap-up, as we said a few minutes ago. Did you scrimmage anybody? How did that go this year?
We scrimmaged Sullivan South. We went for an hour and 30 minutes, and then we both adjourned. We had a sub-state baseball game going on at Dobyns-Bennett. Sullivan South had a sub-state baseball game going on in third place. So we went an hour and a half, good scrimmage. You know, we felt like we got what we needed out of it. I'm sure Coach Haney felt the same way.
And so now we get ready for fall practice, and it's right around the corner, of course. You get a little downtime, but it won't be long before they'll get back out there and get after it. So heading into this season, I can tell in your voice you're pretty pumped up, pretty energetic about this 2015 Indian football team.
Well, Tom, I'm pumped up about our team. I'm excited about our new conference. You know, I don't think anybody in the state has a more competitive schedule than we have, with our conference games being as they are, and then add Tennessee High, Oak Ridge, and Sevier County. You know, that's exciting to get ready to compete against all those folks. So, you know, my age, I get excited over a good hot dog sometimes. So, let's get it going. I can't wait for football season to get here.
Before I let you go, in the landscaping today, are you mulching, planting roses? What are you guys doing out there today?
Let's see. I have cut down 3 trees. I have dug up numerous bushes. This is not at my house. Because I don't have numerous bushes at my house. Let's see. We have done a great deal of weeding. We have a great deal left to go. So, Tom, just keep drumming up the business, brother.
There you go.
You know, we want to talk about football, but, you know, we want to be kind of like Fife Realty was when Barney started selling houses. Andy, this won't interfere at all. When the phone rang, it was picked it up instead of saying sheriff's office. He said Fife Realty.
I got you. I understand. I'm reading between the lines. I'm going to let you get back to work. Coach, thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon. And as always, we'll tell you, Roll Tribe, right?
Roll Tribe, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, Tom Taylor. Hopefully we can do it more in the future.
You got it. I'm right there with you.
Thanks, buddy.
Yes, sir. Talk to you soon. Again, the head coach of the Dobyns Minute Indians, Graham Clark, again, doing a little weeding and cutting down some trees and had some crew out there working. So, yeah, it's not that far away. High school football season. We're kind of in a downtime. Of course, you're saying, Tom, school's not even out yet in Johnson City. Everybody else is kind of down or getting ready to wind down. But, again, football's almost become a year-round thing, as you heard him say, starting June 1st, which is This coming Monday they get back in the weight room, start pumping the iron. So it's kind of exciting. Not kind of. It's exciting. It'll be here before you know it. It's right here where there's 100 days to college football season. September the 3rd is the opening Saturday for most teams in college football. Not all, but most. So, hey, it's here, isn't it?
It's here. No,
but
it's here. It's all but here.
Yeah, everybody's talking it up, and everybody's going through camps. And I know this is kind of these 2 weeks, I think I read, where a lot of the college coaches, this is their, quote, vacation weeks where they disappear with family and get a little downtime, a little R&R. Then they come back and gear up and get ready for college football season, which, again, coming up September the 3rd. Tennessee football, Big Orange, a lot of talk down in Knoxville about a much-improved football team. What do you think, being a diehard, big-time Alabama fan? Do you think this is the year this football program at Tennessee will turn the corner into Butch Jones?
I think that they'll build on what they've been doing. But, like we said last week, they're not there yet. They still have quite a few questions to answer, and I'm not quite sold on Dobbs yet. He had a great, when he came in for Worley there at the end of last year, he gave him a big boost, made him a lot more competitive. But I'm still not quite sold on his abilities to consistently lead that team to an SEC championship by any means. I think that he has some accuracy controls that he needs to work on, and my main worry with quarterbacks that like to take off on their feet is can they avoid getting hit hard? And with some of these linebackers that you're going up against these days, they're just as fast as the quarterbacks, and they hit a whole lot harder.
Red flag for me for Tennessee football. He's pretty good. He's not where, and even Butch says he's not where he needs to be, but he's pretty good. He's made great strides. But if he gets hurt or goes down, who they got?
They don't. That's the thing. They don't have anybody else. I mean, if they're going to do all the things that this Tennessee fan base is more or less starting to anticipate them going to do, he's going to have to be healthy all year. No ifs, ands, or buts. And I don't see that happening the way that he plays the game.
Coming up tomorrow, check in with our buddy Dr. Barry Walton from Max Medicine Mart. Don't forget at Max Medicine Mart, they got the Blue Lizard product line. Swimming pools are open. It's hot and muggy out there this time of year, and we love it. Sure beats the cold. Talked to somebody this morning. They said, man, this heat. I said, no. No, when it was 9 below, I said, I will never complain about the heat again, and I won't. So heat, means sun's out, means folks are laying out in the sun, getting burnt. You've got the Blue Lizard Sensitive, the Blue Lizard Face, and the Blue Lizard for little people, for babies, available again at Max Medicine Mart, made in Johnson City at Crown Laboratory. So you want to be sure and pick that up. They've also got Banana Boat, Hawaiian Tropic, and Copper Tone skin care products as well. Also, it is big out there this year, it being Poison Ivy, Poison Oak, and Poison Sumac. And they have it's called Ivy Dry Soap. Instantly removes Poison Ivy, Poison Oak, and Poison Sumac at Max Medicine Mart. Also they have the traditional calamine lotion. Also, if you have allergies right now, they got a lot of over-the-counter products to help you with your allergies. I know several folks are dealing with runny noses and swollen eyes and being plugged up and stopped up. Are you dealing with that too?
Oh, goodness gracious.
Oh, really?
You don't even want to know.
No?
I go into these sneezing rage fits that last for 20, 30 seconds of just constant sneezing. Can't stop. Oh, yeah, it's horrible.
Have you been to Max Medicine Mart and asked for help?
No, I have not.
Well, you need to man up and drive over there and say, Uncle Barry,
help me.
Help me.
Help me.
Help me. Now, if you get stung by a bee, do you swell up, or is that okay?
You don't. Oh, my goodness.
Is that another one, too?
Really? I look like a balloon.
Okay. All right. Well, then you probably need to go over there when you get your allergies and get the thing called Sting Kill, which contains benzocaine. And it's a disposable swab for bee stings, insect bites, and jellyfish. I don't think you have any jellyfish in East Tennessee, but insect bites, absolutely, and bee stings are all over the place. Sting Kill contains benzocaine, disposable swabs for bee stings, insect bites, and jellyfish. If you're going to the beach, get that and put it in your beach bag, your toolbox, your sports bag, whatever the case may be. Sting Kill. Then I think this would be good for your apartment. Some Colonial Snaps. These are $3.99. You can put them in a little burner. They put off some really, really nice fragrances or scents. Let me think. I'm looking down through which would be a good one for Gable. Let's see. How about Citrus Woods?
Surprised you're not throwing some lavender at me.
I'm not done yet. Morning Dew. That could be you right there. Morning Dew. Or a blueberry scone. That could be you.
Blueberry scone.
No, here it is. What would be good in your apartment for $3.99? You get these 6 little blocks. You can put them in, and they melt down and put a fragrance or a scent throughout the humble abode. Spiced apple toddy. That'd be you right there.
Toddy.
Oh, yeah.
Spiced
I
apple
may get
toddy.
that for you. When's your birthday?
Oh, it's already happened.
Yeah,
It's back in March.
It can be early for next year. Spiced apple toddy. These are called the Colonial Snaps. They're available again at Max Medicine Mart, and they really do a cool job. They've got maple butterscotch. You've got, I'm trying to read my, fresh strawberry rhubarb blossom, which got a rhubarb strawberry scent to it, which is really cool. It smells good. And also the old-fashioned lemonade. It's called the Colonial Snaps. They've got them for $3.99, and those 6 snaps will last a long time. In fact, I've got some I bought, about right after Christmas at Max Medicine Mart, and still using them, and they're still putting out a fragrance every time we heat up the burner and let it melt down the wax, and so it does a great job, and we appreciate them very, very much. It is the Tom Taylor Sports Show again on this Tuesday. Again, make sure you like us on Facebook at facebook.com/the Tom Taylor Sports Show. I want to say hello to my buddy Ken Archer and all the folks listening in Eastman. We have a growing pocket of folks listening over yonder. We certainly appreciate that. We're now in 15 states, including across the Tri-Cities. We're very proud of that. Last week, you've been to Italy, haven't you?
I have.
How do you pronounce Pugila? Do you think? Pugila? Pugala?
Pugila.
Pugila?
That's what I'd have to say.
Pugila.
Pugila.
Pugila, Italy.
If I had to take a guess.
All right. Pugila. Pugila.
Mhm.
Pugila. All right. Pugila, Italy. You were over there. Do they really talk that? Do their hands like this? Mamma mia. Do they do that?
No, that'd be a little bit of a stereotype.
Okay, they don't do that.
There was one or two that did it, but I mean, it wasn't like a widespread Mamma Mia sort of thing.
Right. Did you enjoy Italy, by the way?
Oh, it's gorgeous.
All right.
Absolutely beautiful.
Is that your favorite stop when you left the country?
Well, it's the only time I've left the country.
Oh, I thought you went to some other countries.
Nope, that's the only one
All right.
I've been to.
Okay, I'm going to brag on him. Here we go. Yep. He has been awarded one out of like 72,000 people in the country. You're going to be going to Europe this year. Is that correct?
There was there's 25 people in the world that got accepted, and
In the world. 25 people.
There were 4 Americans, and I'm one of them.
There you go. So out of 4 American college students in this country,
The other 3, one goes to the University of Alabama, one goes to the University of Georgia, and one goes to Brown University.
all right. So those 3 plus Gabe are heading to Europe. Only 4 guys or 4 people in the country are heading off to Europe to do what?
I am going to Rostock, Germany, to attend a seminar on German reunification after the Cold War.
Oh.
Yes, there you go. That's probably why I was one of only 25 people accepted.
I'm thinking you're safe there. Although that's quite an honor, I will say that. I'm very proud to know him. So 4 people in the country. Wonder how many people applied. I'm sure thousands, didn't they?
There was a good chunk.
Yeah. German reunification after the Cold War. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Reunification, I'm assuming when East went
Germany
to,
and
went
West
to West
Germany came back together to be Germany.
To be Germany.
Mhm.
And the German reunification after the Cold War.
Yes.
And we're going to study for that for a week, 2 weeks, a month?
I'll be over there for 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Now, are you going to call and do your show from it? You going to be part of it? Probably not.
I'll probably be in some classes at the time.
From Berlin, where are you going to be going?
I'll be in Rostock at Rostock University.
Right.
And that's in northern Germany, but I'll be taking a few trips. I'll be going to Hamburg. I'll be in Berlin. On the way back, I get to stay a night in Madrid in Spain. So
Cool.
Looking forward to it.
Refrigerator magnets, remember.
I remember.
Remember the old cowboy, refrigerator magnets.
You got it.
I collect them. So if you can come up with 1 or 2, I'll be glad to reimburse you. So it's all right. So we got a notice. Speaking of Germany, I phonetically wrote this out. A horse told me this yesterday, doing the analytics for the show. Schleswig Holstein, Germany. Does that sound right? I'm saying it real slow. I think you put it together, but Schleswig. That's it. Schleswig Holstein, Germany.
What about it?
Well, they got somebody over that's listening to the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Schleswig Holstein, Germany.
Let me see it.
Well, I just wrote it phonetically. Slush. S-L. I didn't write it. I wrote it slush.
Probably Holstein.
Holstein?
Holstein.
Okay, I'm from West Virginia. Schleswig Holstein, Germany. Is that good?
There you go.
And Pugila. Is that right?
Pugila.
Pugila. Let me write that down.
Kai Ospo.
Who?
Also, remember Kai Ospo, the ball player?
We went past him.
Uribe.
How'd you say it? Pugila?
Pugila.
Poo.
If I was a betting man.
Well, you're farther along than I am. You're going to Europe. I'm going to Telford. So Pugila. Pugila, Italy. All right.
That's it.
Also, Sao Paulo, Brazil. Let's see, Guatemala, Mexico, and Bristol in Great Britain we've had. And also Gator's sister, who's a missionary in Peru, has tuned us in. So there you go. We got 5 countries, 15 states, and we appreciate that very, very much here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. It is a Tuesday. Again, we told you earlier about baseball. Everything not winding down. It's down in Tennessee. We're going to regroup and give you again what's happening in Virginia tonight. We haven't talked about the National Hockey League. Last night, Blackhawks lose in overtime. Anaheim leads the series 3-2. Tonight, the Rangers skate in Tampa Bay. The Tampa Bay leads that 3-2. Odds on, you would think, on the home ice, Tampa Bay can finish it. What do you think?
I'd lean towards them right now, which this entire run that they've been on has just been amazing. If you're followed hockey at all, Tampa Bay has kind of been one of those perennial losers, more or less. And for them to have made it this far and to have a chance to go to the Stanley Cup Finals, it's absolutely impressive. Poor Scarlett was a little bitter last night. She's a big Blackhawks fan, and after they tied it with 20 or 30 seconds to go or so in the third period to force overtime, 45 seconds into overtime they lost. So.
Oh, really?
45 seconds into the overtime period, Anaheim scored to have a walk-off on the ice, or a skate-off, I guess is what you'd call it.
So there was a little tension at the old.
No, not me. I mean, her team already beat the Predators.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right.
The Blackhawks beat the Predators. So I was already bitter and disenchanted.
I've never seen your better half upset. So how does that go? Does she throw things, or just sit and stew, or when she
hits me? You want to talk about domestic assault? We can talk about it.
Okay, let's move right along here. Let's go back to Holstein, or go somewhere on this one. All right, so. Bless her heart. She's not very big, but she's a nice lady.
It's payback probably after what the Packers did to her Bears twice last year.
Oh, so it's payback. I got you.
I'll say I was not a humble winner.
I got you. You rubbed it in.
Hard.
But
it's kind of hard not to when Aaron Rodgers throws 6 touchdowns in the first half.
You need to let it go because she's listening. You need to let it go.
No, she's at work now. I'm safe. I made sure to wait till she had gone on to work.
She was listening earlier, right?
Yes, she was. Not anymore. I'm in the clear.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. He just doesn't let up. Packers. He's an arrogant Packers fan, no less. So
he threw 6 touchdown passes.
Okay. All right, let's see what's going on in Virginia today. Again, we have at DeVault Stadium in baseball the Conference 40 tournament. Lebanon takes on Union. Virginia High will battle Y Central. That's both of those back-to-back at 5 and 7:30 tonight at DeVault Stadium in Bristol, Virginia. The Conference 40 tournament. Conference 48 tonight in Virginia. Number 7 seed Twin Springs will play at number 2 J.I. Burton. Castlewood will be at number 3 Rye Cove, and Clintwood at number 4 Thomas Walker. That's in baseball. Softball tonight in the Conference 40 tournament. Number 4 seed Union takes on number 1 seed Gate City at 6 o'clock at Gate City High School. Lebanon will battle John Battle. That'll be right after that one. And then also tonight the Conference 48 tournament in softball in Virginia. The number 7 seed Thomas Walker's ladies will be at number 2 J.I. Burton. Number 6 Twin Springs, the Lady Fighting Titans will be at number 3 Clintwood. And number 5 Rye Cove, the Lady War Eagles will be at number 4 seed Castlewood tonight in the Conference 48 softball tournament. And then also in soccer tonight. On the boys' side, you got Y Central, the 5th seed at number 4 Union. At number 6 Lehigh, number 3 John Battle. And the Conference 40 girls tournament tonight at Sugar Hollow Park in Bristol. Number 5 Union takes on number 4 Virginia High. And the number 7 Y Central takes on the number 2 seed John Battle. All that going on tonight at Sugar Hollow Park in Bristol. Do you still run? You still a runner?
Oh yeah.
All right. You been in any races lately?
I've been preparing for them though.
Getting ready for doing the Crazy Eights this year?
Yes, sir.
Are you really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. That's good stuff. That's coming up. We're going to have Hank Brown on tomorrow talking about the Blue Plum 5K coming up very soon in downtown Johnson City. Going to run that one, you think?
I could do that one.
All right. He came over one night to help me move some stuff at the house, and ding dong, he said, I'll be over in just a few minutes. Okay. Ding dong, look out, where's your truck? And I ran over here. I said, what? You live all the way across town? He said, I ran over here. It's covered in sweat. I said, okay. Are you serious? He said, yeah, I ran over here. Okay. And he did. He ran back home. So the guy's a runner. How many miles you run a day?
4 or 5.
Makes me tired even saying it. 4 or 5. The Casa Road Race, 8K and mile run coming up this Saturday at 8 o'clock at Crockett Springs Park in Rogersville. If you're interested, you can call the race director, Mark Skelton, at 272-4812. 272-4812 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the Casa court-appointed special advocates for the young people. Again, the Casa Road Race, 8K and mile coming up, again, this coming Saturday at 8 o'clock at Crockett Spring Park in Rogersville. And that number to call again is 272-4812 is the number to call. We have pretty well cleaned up the sports desk here again on this Tuesday. So we're winding this thing down for the next 4 or 5 minutes. Here's something the Broncos out of the NFL. Last week, the NFL changed the rules regarding point-after-touchdown tries. While two-point conversion tries will still be attempted from the 2-yard line, extra-point kicks will now be attempted from the 15-yard line. Rather than the 2, turning the try into an equivalent of a 32-yard field goal attempt rather than a 19-yarder. All right, so point all this, Broncos head coach Gary Kubiak says they're going to be changing a great deal in their strategy and thought process, even in looking into the possibility of employing a two-point specialist in order to give themselves a leg up on those tries. The idea of having a two-point specialist is also something that's been floated as a reason for the Philadelphia Eagles to sign Tim Tebow. I don't understand that, but kickers have been making extra points at a rate of 98.7, call it 99% since 1998. And so it's too automatic. NFL wants to change it, and so they have. It's going to be a 15-yard point after now from the 15-yard line, turning the try into an equivalent of a 32-yard field goal, which gives it lots of chances for things to go wrong. And so now they're going to be hiring some two-point specialists. What would that be? What's a two-point specialist? Kicker? Somebody that –
No, you're talking about like a Tim Tebow type. You know, when you think of Tebow, you think of a gritty guy that's going to be able to get you 2 or 3 yards, you know, to punch it into the end zone and get those 2 points instead of taking your chances with a 32-yard extra point.
I got you. So I misread that. So they're talking about getting somebody that can grind it.
That's exactly right. Because, I mean, you're 2 yards out and you have probably just as, you know, a good chance of knocking it in the end zone as you do of kicking that extra point.
So they're going to get somebody that can hammer it.
Mm-hmm.
A hammer. A little hammer time. All right. So Eagles may have gotten Tebow for that reason. I don't think so, but they didn't ask me. But I wouldn't think they would sign Tim Tebow to be a two-point runner because they signed him before the 2-point went into effect. So I don't think that was their goal.
That's true. And I think that, you know, you'll see some packages, you know, designed specifically for Mr. Tebow, which Chip Kelly's been able to win 10 games in his first 2 seasons in Philadelphia. And let's see, his first year, Nick Foles was quarterback, and then last year, Mark Sanchez was quarterback. And neither of those guys really strike me as top 10 quarterbacks in the league. So I think that Tim Tebow, he might get some starting time this season. You never know, depending on what happens with injuries. And Sam Bradford, who is unfortunately Mr. Injury Prone.
Got a couple of minutes left here. That's coming out of the NFL. As I promised, Mick Jagger of the Rolling Stones. You didn't like my English accent, do you? It's not very good. Okay. It is well known that the San Diego Chargers are part of a proposal along with Raiders to build a stadium in Carson, California, returning the NFL to the L.A. area.
Oh, yeah, the one on the landfill.
There you go. One on the landfill where a team has not been since 1995. What Rolling Stones lead singer Mick Jagger wants to know is why would anyone want to leave San Diego? At a band's recent concert at San Diego's Petco Park, home of the Padres, Jagger asked the question, noting, "It's so beautiful here. Why would you want to leave?" Why would anybody want to leave, Jagger asked, especially the Chargers before breaking into Miss You and then Gimme Shelter. So there you go. Mick Jagger's weighing in on the NFL and at a concert in San Diego. So why would you want to leave? It's so beautiful here. I don't think it has anything to do with the beauty of San Diego. It's all about dollars and money and building a stadium that's going to be jointly used by the Raiders and the Chargers. Are you a fan of the Rolling Stones, by the way, Mick Jagger?
I mean, I don't despise them or dislike them any, but I'm not going out of my way to listen to their music every day.
Okay. So do we – I guess not to be a smart aleck, but do we care what Mick Jagger says?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't know why you'd care what a very old English rock band singer cares about the National Football League.
There you go. And San Diego, one way or the other, he said, why would you want to leave?
He is right, though. I don't understand why you'd want to leave San Diego.
Is it pretty?
Oh, it's all the pictures I've seen. Granted, I've never been out there, but San Diego seems like it's good old Southern California.
Are you going to Rostock, Germany, is what you said?
Rostock, yes.
Rostock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's the reunification of Germany after the Cold War.
That's right.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So there's you.
I'll
and
be sure to tell you all about it for the 2 minutes that you're awake.
Yeah, full report when you get back. Actually, it's pretty impressive. So there's somebody going from Alabama, from Georgia, and from Brown University, and Gable from East Tennessee State University.
Tennessee State.
Pretty impressive. I don't know how big Brown is, but clearly ETSU ain't even in the same league enrollment-wise as Georgia
Brown's
and Alabama.
Ivy League.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an Ivy League school and a Southern Conference school
and two SEC schools.
Now, what was your reaction when you found out? Wait a minute, this is a stupid question. It's like, well,
I was disappointed, Tom.
That's exactly right. That's when these people go up to these players after a big ball game. What do you think about winning the Super Bowl? God, it's depressing.
It sucks.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's just no fun.
So never mind that question. I just did exactly what I make fun of. So you were ecstatic, and so were your folks, and should be.
Yes, they were.
So there you go. All right. You got to break a few eggs to make an omelet. Is
That's
today's
right.
word for the day. We learned that. You're back tomorrow. Is that correct?
I'll be here tomorrow.
Horace will be back on Thursday and Friday, and we'll work out our little whatever we had. Apparently had a little glitch yonder that all of our phone conversation went out on the air. But, hey, at the end of the day, it is what it is, and Gabe said he's going to get it fixed, and that's all we can ask for. So we've learned today. Mick Jagger says, why leave San Diego? Gable's going to Ruckstock or whatever that is over in Germany. And you got to break a few eggs to make an omelet. So there you go. Today's show brought to you by Bracket Asphalt Maintenance. Also, Wealth Street Management on Center Street in Kingsport. The Wells Fargo Group led by our buddy Greg Taylor and Tim Colvin and Jeff Bedford and Natalie Wells. By Bays Mountain Park. Max Medicine Mart, he'll be with us tomorrow. Cherokee Barbershop. Bristol Dragway. We'll have Brandon on tomorrow, giving you a chance to start tomorrow qualifying to win tickets to go to the Thunder Valley Nationals coming up and Father's Day weekend in a couple of weeks. Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance. Larry will join us tomorrow. Book Lovers Warehouse, Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, Kingsport Cabinetry, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, and by American Import and Auto Repair, home of the free loaner car program. Gable, hit that magic button. We're gone, my friend. We're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Come back and join us tomorrow. Watch this tonight and listen to it tonight on iTunes, TuneIn Radio, also Stitcher phone app, and or YouTube. And Facebook.com/The Tom Taylor Sports Show. Like us and follow us. We'd appreciate that very, very much. Again, back in the saddle tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Hope you'll have a great rest of this Tuesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow right here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. So long, everybody.